everyone, Connor here from the Daubers, and welcome to Shim-Line Saturdays. So we're diving into the continuation of the top 8. We're now on the other half of the bracket. We're in week 3. What I will quickly say though is apologies for the delay in any videos. Sadly, I work in healthcare, so over the holiday period I just don't have time off at all on top of everything else happening. So there was a small delay in getting things done, but we're back, everything's back to normal scheduling, and we're going to be rolling out with even more videos this year as well. So let's just dive straight on into the first of our contenders. It is the high speed dodge, the top 8 variant. So as you can see, the Shim-Line is right through where his knee is in the centre. It's honestly could potentially be the super closest to it being right down the middle. Something I also noticed with this that I never really noticed it the first time round, because we hadn't really seen too many. It does appear to have the faintest, I mean the faintest of roller lines. Just, it could also be the art, but obviously we have the cut through where the knee is, and then just slightly above it we have what appears to be a bit of a roller line, but again it also could be the lines through in the art that's causing the effect to look that way. But the more I look at it, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's so close to being like, is that, it's like one of those, is that like there to there to there, a point? I'm not too sure now, and it was only until the experience bundles came out that I even start really looking at it, to be honest. But I think this has probably one of the closest, if not the best so far, of the perfectly centered shims. Fair enough, this one's going across the way, but I still think it counts, to be honest. And it's not too in your face, you know, like I think it's noticeable when you see it, but I think with the way the art and style and that works for it, it kind of hides it a little bit. Like when I'm doing all this, you can see it off of the foil in itself, but the actual art itself, there's a lot of hidden spots to it where you just wouldn't notice in that kind of format. So I'm trying to think whereabouts I'm going to grade this, because I want to give it like a pretty high score, if I'm being honest, because of how close to it being centered it is. But then I don't know, do I dock it points with what potentially could be the roller line? I never actually thought of this before. This until the experience bundles came out, this was never part of the criteria. But I think I'm going to give this a 4. I'm going to be quite generous and give this a 4. I think that's where it needs to be. A 4 out of 5 shim lines for high speed dodge. So let's then take a look at who it's fighting off against, which is the card that came in and stole a spot. We have difficult decisions. So this card came in and stole Queen Historia's spot over in week 1. She was attacked backstage, and this card has continued. Now this card also hits the exact same issue that I think we had like pointed on it about once or twice, but if it's a kind of awkward one to show. But basically we have Shim at the top, and then just about there we have what is a roller line, and this one definitely has a roller line. The reason I know it has a roller line more than the other one is there's like a discoloration on the card itself. It's really hard to show on camera, but in person it's like the faintest shadow almost on the card as such. And I've noticed this with all of the experience bundle ones for the solo level and stuff, so I've been able to compare both together. But like if I have it at this angle, it's so hard to show. It's actually a really tough shim to show as well. Like if you can catch it at the top as well, to be fair, it's like right in the centre, like right at the top part there, but it's just right at the head. I think what also causes this as well is because of the actual foiling on this card. It's super shiny with the colouring, to the point where actually it looks quite hidden. In person though, I'm going to have to say it looks worse, I guess. It looks worse in person than on camera right now, is what I would say, just because I can physically see it, but the camera won't pick it up because it's the faintest of discoloration, and you have to hold it at like some right weird angle as such. Like you can sort of see it there a little bit, the sort of discoloration along with the shim itself, but it's tough to point out. Obviously this one, the shim's miles from the centre of the card. So like if we're having to dot points on that front, it is miles off. Does it interrupt the art? In an awkward way, I think it does, because it's so perfectly sitting at the top of the head where the line goes across that it kind of becomes too noticeable as such. But then as I'm looking at it, it's so many hidden spots as well that maybe you just would glance over this. I actually think difficult decision might potentially have hit a wall here, being the fact that high speed dodge was very noticeable in comparison. This is just one of those like super shiny cards that hides it. But I think the roller line on this also has to be credited. I wish there was a way I maybe be able to take a photo and kind of like high res it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm thinking this only gets a 2. I think this only gets a 2 out of 5 of the damn Shim-Lines. I think that's where we've got to go with this one, sadly. Nice card as well, very cool alt. But yeah, the shim's hidden well enough, to be honest, where you're really having to pick at those angles to see it and stuff like that. And as I say, the fact that the camera doesn't even pick up the grading on the roller line, I think also saves it, to be fair, because I can only show you what I can show you. So yeah, I think we're going to have to go with a 2. Yeah, I think that is where we're at. But then, so we have the 2 in question. We have the top 8 variant of high speed dodge with the shim down the centre, and we have the difficult decision with the shim over the top of the head of what is a Mikasa, I believe. No, that's Eren, sorry. So which of these 2 do you want to see in the next round? Do you want to see high speed dodge, or do you want to see difficult decision? As always, get your comments in below. We are now going to be posting to another group as well. So there's now multiple groups. I don't know if we're going to be posting to the old one yet. I don't know if we're allowed, to be honest, so we'll have to figure that one out. But yeah, we're going to be posting everywhere we can post as normal. You can put your comments in below for any of the videos that go up as such, along with the YouTube video. And then on the Sundays, we'll have the TikTok going live with the short version. Comment there below. Also, the short version's on TikTok and on YouTube. Vote as many times as you actually want. You can skew the vote as much as you want. Every single vote will be counted. Hell, even leave multiple comments. I haven't even made that as a rule, so I mean, abuse it until I figure out that I have to change it. So yeah, that has been this week of Shim-Line Saturdays, and next week we'll have the last 2 cards of the top 8 before we hit top 4. So I shall see you all then. Bye everyone.